welcome back, welcome back, YouTube family, where we are approaching episode 5. I am currently painting a 2025 Chrysler Pacifica with the paint code PR6. Feel free to hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Let's get it. Okay, so this particular color is considered a candy color, meaning that I'm going to have to take additional steps to achieve the factory finish. One good thing about this one is a base coat version of a candy. So all of my steps are going to be in a base coat version, unlike other candies. For example, the Ford's RR, which requires you to tint to clear, and so this one is just all base coat. I don't want to forget this step right here. This color called for an undertone of G6, so I'm basically going over the repair with a base coat version of G6. The repair wasn't too crazy, and I prepped it, with 400, and then went over with 600 and 800, so that there's no sand scratches. So I was able to go over everything with a base coat version of G6. Okay, so one of the things that I continue to stress in each video is that how important it is to make sure your base coat is completely dried before applying any additional coats. You always want to make sure it's completely dried because if not, your base coat will react once it's time to lay down your clear coat. It will react because when it's trying to dry and you're putting layers on top of it, it will not work out. Right now, I'm applying a what's called a wet bed, which is PPG's T490, and it's reduced with T492 and 494. And basically, what this is a clear base coat, which gives me something to blend my color into. So right now, I'm about to apply my first coat of base, and I'm going to go a little bit past that passenger side front door. And I'm also, as you can see, you will see me angle my gun in a way to where I'm basically blending that color out. I spray pretty heavy, as you can see. I get good coverage that way. If you spray too heavy, depending on the temperature of your booth, your base coat could run. But I usually spray my first coat pretty heavy. Right now, I'm spraying at 100 degrees. In the hotter months, I usually spray at 85 degrees. So it's just about finding the happy medium. Sometimes certain conditions of certain paint booths require you to do certain things, so you just have to adapt. All right, so coat number 2. Time for another 490 in those blending areas. Let's get it. It really doesn't matter how many coats of 490 that you put. It's just clear base coat, so it's not going to change your color. It just helps alleviate sand piling, and it also prevents seeding from happening, where all of those metallics are just landing on that panel, and then once you go to clear it, uh, it looks like a whole bunch of fine trash, uniform trash, I should say. And every painter's number one goal should be to get the cleanest job that you can possibly get the first time. So as you can see on my front passenger door that I blended it to, I basically took that color a little bit past where I stopped the first time. And that is because I am blending. I'm currently trying to blend that color out. And so, yeah, I took it a little bit further past that first coat. And now I'm about to apply a little bit more 490 in my blend areas. And here I go with the control coat. So basically with a control coat, you want it to go on with a little bit of a mist. Not too wet, because all you're doing, your goal is to even out the metallics. You want everything to look uniform. And you also don't want anything to look blotchy. Also, one thing that a control coat does is it when evening out those metallics, it basically covers up that blotchiness that you might get, mostly on the silvers and golds and things, colors like that. This particular color blended out very, very well. So now I'm about to apply my first coat of tinted base coat, which is the candy, and I'm going to go a little bit past where I blended my color. And one thing that's tricky about painting a base coat version of candy is that you don't know really how many coats it's going to take to actually cover up that base coat to make it look really deep, like the candies usually look. So usually with candy colored cars, they usually have like a deep tone to them, and you always want to make sure that you apply the correct amount of coats so you can get the factory finish look that you're looking for, the deep candy factory finish. So if you look at my tape, you can see how my color is blended out. And if you blend out your color right, it should look exactly like that. All right, so here I go with coat number 2. Like I stated before, you always want to make sure your base coat is completely dry before applying another coat of base coat. Because as you can see, I have the G shade, I have the first coat of base, the second coat of base, the drop coat. I have one coat of the tinted base coat candy, and now I'm about to apply my second coat of base coat candy. So it's very, very important and very detrimental that your base coat is completely dried before applying another coat of base coat. So I'm going a little bit further out. My second coat. When I was painting this, like I said, I never painted this color before, so I wanted to make sure that I was only going to have to paint it one time. So I came in with my light and checked everything. Sometimes the lights trick you too. Sometimes it looks like it's completely blended out, and it looks like you have the correct amount of coats of candy. But I just kept checking and looking and making sure that I had that really deep tone that I was looking for, and it worked out. So this is my second coat. I want to make sure it's completely dried, and here I go again, about to apply not one, not two, but 3 coats of candy. That's right, I said it. I said 3 coats of candy. So here I go, applying my 490. 490 is really, really a really good tool to use when blending out paint. It really helps out a lot if you lay it down properly, and it really makes a good transition. As long as you pick the correct variant, it'll work for you every time. So here I go, pushing that candy a little bit further than the first 2 coats. Angling my gun. Y'all let me know in the comments whenever you're clearing something down the whole side like this. Let me know if you walk it or if you stop in between panels. Some people like to walk down the whole panel with it, and some people like to stop between panels and split it up in sections. So let me know in the comments what works for y'all. So now y'all can see we're about to clear this thing, and it took not one, not two, but three coats of the candy to achieve the factory refinish. So right now I'm applying my first coat of clear coat using PPG's EC 520. The flash time with this particular clear is 5 minutes. And like I stated before, uh, what I like to do after my first coat of clear coat is come out of the booth, set a timer, and let it properly flash, which gives me an opportunity to achieve the factory refinish, if not better. Now, if you get on it too early, you run the risk of it running on you. But then if you get on it too late, then you run the risk of more orange peel than you would possibly want. So, uh, another indications, especially in the hotter months, which might cause you to get on it a little bit more early, is you can come in the booth and touch your tape, and if your tape is very very tacky, then you can go ahead and apply another coat of clear coat. But if you touch your tape and it kind of strings, uh, clear, then you know that it's too early and it needs to flash a little bit more. So as I stated before, it's all in your routine. As long as you follow your routine and just keep adding things that will add value to your routine, you'll get the same results every single time. So I forgot to mention that the gun of choice that I'm using on this particular job is a Iwata Supernova. This is a really, really, really good gun, and I'm also spraying my clear with this gun at 39 psi. All right, so I let that flash for 5 minutes, and now we on coat number two. All right, so it's very very important to maintain the same consistency throughout the whole panel. Uh, each time you're clearing. So as you can see, I'm not letting go of the trigger, but I will once I hit those edges in the back, and I continue on where I left off. And I'm basically going to go a little bit past that quarter panel into that door, the middle door, and I'm going to keep the same consistency throughout. And without letting go of the trigger, as you can see, I'm angling my gun to the left and to the right. That way, I'm not stopping directly in the middle of that panel. And what that does is prevents me from getting a run from stopping my clear in the same spot and that material just building up in that same spot. And it will happen if you do that. You always want to make sure that you go a little bit past where you stopped the first time. That way you give yourself a little bit more leeway when you're trying to, finish the panel, the adjacent panel. So I'm going to continue on down to the next door with the same consistency. All right, so as I'm wrapping up, feel free to hit that like, comment, and subscribe button, or just comment with something that you've been struggling with, and I'll do my best to get back to you promptly. So until the next episode, stay humble and keep going.